Are you tired of feeling like you are always spending but never really gaining? Do you ever look around your home and wonder how all that stuff get there in the first place? If so, you are not alone. Many of us are trapped in the circle of overconsumption. It leaves us feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and constantly chasing the next purchase. But here's the thing. What if I told you that cutting back could actually make you happier? Hi there, it's Emily here. Today, we are talking about the low buy year. What is it? Why you should try it in 2025? And how to set your own rule to make the experience work for you. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you will feel ready to take control of your spending habits and find joy in what you already have. Let's dive in. So step 1, what is a low buy year? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a low buy year? Unlike a no buy year, where you completely stop buying non-essential items for a full year, a low buy year is more flexible. It's about cutting back intentionally, focus on buy only the essentials, and being super mindful of everything else. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about breaking free from the habit of mindless consumption. Think of it this way. Instead of banning all purchases, you are creating a set of rules that allows for conscious, meaningful spending. You can still buy things, but the focus is on deliberation over impulse. For example, instead of deciding I won't buy any clothes at all, you might say, I will only buy a few outfits if something in my current wardrobe wears out or no longer fits. So it's less about completely closing your wallet and more about opening your mind to what's actually worth spending on. Sounds freeing, right? Step 2, why you should try a low buy year in 2025. Now you might be wondering, why should I even bother with a low buy year, right? Let me give you a few reasons why starting this journey in 2025 is a perfect idea. The first one is save money like never before. The financial benefits are huge. When you cut down on unnecessary spending, you will be amazed at how much extra cash you have at the end of the month. Picture this. You cut out that daily coffee run, which might seem like a small sacrifice, but that's around $5 a day. Multiply that by 365 days, and you've just saved yourself over $1,800 a year. Imagine what you could do with that extra money. Number 2 is experience mental clarity and less clutter. We all know the feeling of having too much stuff. Clutter can actually make us feel more stressed and overwhelmed. A low buy year helps you avoid adding to that clutter. I used to buy decorative pillows for my couch all the time, even though I didn't need more. The result is a couch that was overcrowded and a living room that felt chaotic. Once I stopped, my space felt lighter and so did I. The third one is break bad spending habits. We all have those sneaky habits that drain our wallets. A low buy year helps us identify and stop them. Okay, for me, it's buying apps and digital tools that promise to improve productivity. Okay, most of them end up unused after the first week, but the subscriptions keep renewing. This year, I'm cutting out those unnecessary costs. Number 4 is a sustainable choice for the planet. So when we buy less, we reduce our environmental footprint. Think of all the packaging, resources, and waste that we avoid by not buying items we don't really need. That's huge. Step 3 is my low buy year rules for 2025. So after we figure out all the whys, now let's get into the fun part, setting your own rules. Here's how I'm planning my low buy year in 2025. Remember, the key is to make these rules fit your lifestyle and your spending weaknesses. Rule number 1, no more buying mugs. I have a serious addiction to buy cups and mugs. It might sound harmless, but I've collected so many that I could open a small coffee shop, which I did. So this year, no more cups. But maybe cups are not your thing. Maybe it's sneakers, makeup, or video games, right? Whatever it is, pick your vice and set a clear rule to stop buying more of it. My rule number 2 is no new clothes. This is a tough one, but for 2025, I'm going to try not buying any new clothes. I do have enough, and let's be real, I only wear about 30% of my wardrobe anyway. Instead, I'm challenging myself to get creative with what I already own. If you cannot go a whole year without buying clothes, try a modified version, like only allowing yourself to buy replacements for things that wear out, or limiting yourself to one new piece each season. Rule number 3, no electronics. Well, tech gadgets are my weakness, especially as a content creator. I always wanted this camera, that microphone, but this year I'm putting my foot down. I have all the gear I need. And buying more won't magically make my video better. Think about the last time you upgraded your phone or tablet. Did you really need it? Or was it just a shiny new model? Set a rule to only upgrade when something truly breaks down or becomes obsolete. Number 4, no more memberships or subscriptions. This one's going to save me some serious cash. I'm going through all my subscriptions, from streaming services to fitness apps, and cutting anything that isn't absolutely essential. I did an audit of my subscriptions recently and find I was paying for a photo editing app I hadn't used in months. That's $10 a month down the drain. So do a subscription audit, and I bet you will be surprised at what you find. And my rule number 5 is no more home decor purchases. I love decorating my home. I used to go all out for every season or holiday, decorating my home like it was a Pinterest board. It was fun, sure, but I was spending way too much money and energy on things that, let's be honest, didn't really matter in the long run. I mean, how many Christmas-themed pillows does one person actually need? So this year, I'm focusing on appreciating what I already have. No more candles, picture frames, or throw pillows in 2025. Instead of buying new decor, try rearranging what you already own. You will be amazed at how fresh a room can feel just by moving things around. Rule number 6, no sweets. Here's my personal challenge. No sweets except for once a month. I just love desserts, even I know I didn't need them every day or every week. Healthy-wise, I know I shouldn't be eating sugary treats, but let's be real, when you're feeling down or anxious, doesn't chocolate or ice cream just make everything better? I know, it's just a quick fix, but sometimes you just need that pick-me-up. And let's not even talk about how intense this cravings get during that time of the month. So here's what I've done. I allow myself to have one indulgence a month. Yep, once a month. Sounds strict, right? That's why I call it a real test of willpower. But trust me, it works. You don't have to go as extreme as I'm going, but cutting down on indulgence treats, whether it's sweets, snacks, or takeout, can make a big difference in your budget and your health. So step 4, how to find joy in a low buy year. Once you've set your low buy year rules, the next big question is, how do you actually find joy when you are not buying things all the time? Because honestly, these rules can feel pretty hardcore if you're used to treating yourself whenever you want, right? You might be wondering, if I'm not buying new things, will I still feel happy? And the answer is yes. You just need to learn how to find joy in different ways. So let me share 2 practical tips that have really helped me. The first one is gratitude for what you already have. A low buy year forces you to appreciate what's already in your life. You will find yourself getting creative with the things you own, and that brings its own kind of joy. For example, I used to constantly buy new books, but this year I'm rereading old favorites, and it's brought me so much comfort. Plus, I get to rediscover books I had forgotten about. Number 2, make a wish list, but don't buy right away. Whenever you feel the urge to buy something, let's say like you've got your eye on that designer hat, or a new coffee maker, or maybe the latest electronics that everyone's raving about. Add it to a wish list and wait. Come back to it in, let's say, a month and see if you still want or need it. More often than not, the desire just fades. I do this all the time, and I'm telling you, 90% of the time, I forget about the item entirely after a few weeks, which means I don't really need those things. And if I bought them in the heat of the moment, I'd probably lose interest in a month, and maybe they will just end up in some corner collecting dust. Step 5, learning to live with what you have. So, learning to live with what you already have is key. You need to learn to love and use what you already own. A low buy year is not about deprivation, it's about rediscovering what's you already around you. For example, I have a pair of shoes I just barely wear for years because they were not trendy anymore. But guess what? They are comfortable and still in great shape. What's even more amazing is that after a few seasons, fashion trends seem to come full circle. The old pair of shoes I tucked away suddenly back in style. It's like I don't even need to chase the latest trends anymore. I'm already set. Now I started wearing them again, and they are my favorite pair. Oh, by the way, if you've stuck around this long, thank you so much. I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumb up. It's the best free way to support the channel. So step 6, how a low buy year changed my life. Now you might be wondering, what difference does a low buy year really make in your life? Well, I've done versions of a low buy year before, and let me tell you, the impact has been amazing. The first thing is financial freedom. I saved a ton of money by cutting out small unnecessary purchases. I know some people will argue, well, money is meant to be earned, not saved. And okay, I get that. But in China, where I'm from, we have this saying, 开源节流. Open the source, control the flow. It means that, yes, you should focus on earning more. But if you don't manage what you spend, your wealth won't last. I think that's spot on. It's easy to fall into the trap of life inflation, right? Check out my previous video on that here, where the more you earn, the more you spend. But let me break it down for you. Making money is hard, but keeping it, that's even harder. This is why taking on a low buy year is so important. It's not just about saving money, it's about building a healthy relationship with your finances and ultimately your life. So over the course of the year, I was able to put aside enough for a vacation, something I would have never been able to afford if I hadn't been intentional with my spending. Number 2 is a clearer, happier space. Now my home feels less cluttered. I'm less stressed about keeping everything organized. And here's something crazy. There's research says if we live to be 78, we spend an average of 6 years just doing household chores. And for Asian women, that number is probably even higher. Imagine spending a decade of your life cleaning. It's almost unbearable. So the less stuff you own, the less you have to clean and organize, which means more time to enjoy life, to do what you really want to do, to achieve your dreams, right? Number 3, a new relationship with money. Okay, instead of viewing money as a way to buy happiness, I now see it as a tool to support the things that truly matters in my life. So during a low buy year, you will find yourself constantly asking, what do I actually need? What genuinely brings me happiness and fulfillment? It's an opportunity to get to know yourself on a deeper level. You will stop caring about what society or your family or friends think you should look like or have, and you will start turning into your own desires. Step 7 is the psychological benefits of a low buy year. Speaking of which, let's talk about the mental health benefits of a low buy year, because they are real. Cutting back on consumption not only lightens the load on your wallet, but it also lifts a weight off your mind. The first is less decision fatigue. When you're constantly shopping, you're making decisions. What to buy, where to buy it, which brand to choose, etc. A low buy year removes all that stress and simplifies your life. Before my low buy year, I used to spend hours browsing online stores trying to find the best deal or the perfect item. Now that I've cut back, I have more time and mental energy for things that truly matter, like working on my creative projects. Trust me, buying something new might make you feel good for a hot minute, but real satisfaction comes from creating something, from using your energy to build or achieve something meaningful. Number 2 is increased mindfulness. A low buy year forces me to be present and mindful about my choices. You will find that you start to ask yourself, do I really need this? Will this item add value to my life? Just having that back and forth conversation with yourself can completely change how you feel about your life and your choices. Number 3 is building self-control. This might sound like a challenge at first, but the longer you stick to your low buy rules, the more you will strengthen your self-control. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. I used to struggle with impulse buying, especially when I was feeling stressed or bored. But through my low buy year, I've learned to pause before making a purchase and really think about whether it's worth it. This practice has made me feel more in control of my spending habits and my emotions. Step 8 is why a low buy year is worth trying in 2025. Now, I know a low buy year sounds challenging, but I promise it's one of the best decisions you can make for your financial and mental health. Just imagine starting 2026 with more money in the bank, a decluttered home, and a greater sense of control over your life. And honestly, isn't that kind of happiness the best feeling in the world? So start by setting your own rules, making them realistic and personal to you, whether it's cutting out certain categories of spending or simply being more mindful about every purchases. A low buy year is customizable to your needs and goals. Remember, from setting your rules to finding joy in the process, this journey is all about breaking free from the circle of consumerism and reclaiming your time, money, and mental clarity. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more tips on minimalist living, personal finance, and intentional lifestyle choices. And drop your comments below. What's your biggest spending weakness? I'd love to hear how you're planning your own low buy year. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!